Welcome to Field Trip Me! In this brief walkthrough, we'll show you how to create a trip and get your students ready for a safer, smarter field trip experience. Once you've logged in, start by selecting Trips from the main menu. So first, let's do a quick review of the Trips page. Here on the Trips dashboard, you'll see everything you need to create and manage your trips. If you already have existing trips, you can select one from the drop-down menu. Next to that, you'll find your Trip Tools, where you can edit, duplicate, download as an Excel file, or delete a trip. If you're ready to start fresh, just choose the green New Trip button. You can add your trip's info manually or upload it using a provided Excel template. Below, you'll see the Trips table, showing all the students in your selected trip. The Register Status column tells you whether each parent or guardian has completed their Field Trip Me registration, a one-time process that's required for students to use the FTM app on trip day. The Trip Status column lets you know if each parent or guardian has signed up and made payment for the selected trip, while the Tracking Consent indicates whether or not each parent or guardian agreed to let you see their student's location in the FTM app for the duration of the trip. Note that, should you choose to view student locations on a trip, doing so ultimately depends on parental consent and the student's device settings. Now, let's create a new trip together using the manual method, before discussing the Excel upload method a bit later. You'll need all the relevant info to set up your trip, but not all at once. You can save and return as many times as you need before trip day. Just above your Trips table, choose the green New Trip button. In the pop-up, choose Manually. Give your trip a name you'll easily recognize, especially helpful once you've added more trips in the future. Choose Save and Close. Here at the top of your trip's details page, you'll see the trip code and name of the selected trip, along with a second set of trip tools. Using the tabs, you'll navigate through the different sections of your trip setup. The Snapshot section first captures the trip's most basic info, before having you choose your map view options for the FTM app on trip day. You can choose what you and your fellow leaders will see, all participants or no participants, and what students will see, themselves and all leaders or all participants. Then you'll be asked to review and confirm your understanding of FTM's tracking parameters. When working through this section and all the others in your trip setup, be sure to save your work as you go along. Moving to the Destination Details section, you'll enter the info for each of the destinations on your trip. The Transportation Details section allows you to record info on the different transportation providers that might be associated with your trip. Then, the Participation Details section is where you'll choose the class or classes going on your field trip. Please note that once a class is involved in the payment of a trip, you will not be able to add more students to that class. If new students join the class at such a point, you must create a new, separate class for those additional students, then add that new class to the appropriate trips. Beneath the Student section, you can record the info for any co-leaders that might be accompanying you on the trip. The Itinerary section is where you'll enter your trip's starting and ending points, and provide the desired timing associated with each of your destinations. You can also add points of interest that will appear on the map in the FTM app on trip day. Moving to the Education section, you can provide files and even craft your own factoids and activities to be made available via the FTM app on trip day. The Parent page and Pricing section is where you'll set up the page that parents or guardians will use to review the trip description, then sign their student up and make payment for the trip. You can import your trip's basic info, Then add accompanying text or images if you wish. You can choose email addresses to be notified whenever a parent or guardian submits the trip's general permission form, and even add your own forms to be completed by parents or guardians. In the trip pricing and payment area, you'll be shown your FTM trip fee based on the number of participating students, and have the option to pay that fee yourself or pass it along to parents or guardians as part of the trip's other costs. The pricing table allows you to input the various costs associated with each student participating in your trip, which will automatically include or omit the FTM trip fee, based on your selection above. The way you set up the pricing table here is exactly the way that parents or guardians will see it on the trip's parent page. Once you've set up all of the info that your parent page will need, you can use the tools at the bottom to preview the page, publish or update the page, and then, when you're ready, email all participating parents and guardians a link to the page. Lastly, Field Trip Me offers a section to help you track your trip's expenses and authorizations. The authorization area lets you email a read-only version of your trip's setup for review and approval, and can notify you whenever there's been some authorization activity. For any new trips that you're creating from scratch, we strongly recommend the manual method. But if you're looking to easily share a trip with another teacher to use as a starting point that they can then modify, you can use the trip tools to download your trip as an Excel file. It's important to note that the download will include all elements of your trip with the exception of participating classes and co-leaders, education files, neither uploads nor accompanying images, points of interest from the itinerary section and parent page, and pricing content. Creating a new trip starting with an Excel file is then as simple as choosing the green New Trip button and, in the pop-up, opting for the Excel file of existing trip option. Again, you'll give your trip a name you'll easily recognize, navigate to, and upload your file. Then choose Save and Close. Once your trip is uploaded as a starting point, you can go on to modify and complete it as needed. Again, and as always, making sure to save your work as you go along. And that's it. Your trip is created and connected. Check out our other how-to videos on creating classes using either the manual or Excel upload method. Field Trip Me. Safer, smarter field trips start here.